Welcome back, you filthy exiles, and we have another list of community builds to work through. The game is absolutely crazy with some of the build combinations at the moment. Even myself, I'm trying an armor stacking witch hunter. You can catch me on stream playing that and trying to figure out how to make that work. My other build did not work last week, but my other build that I'm going to feature on this list from me did work really well, and armor stacking, I can confirm, is sufficiently OP to the point where you can face tank Ubers, which is fantastic. Anyway, there's a lot of really cool builds in the game, obviously ticking around at the moment. I've picked another 4 other creators, and I'll include one from me this time around, which have put together some absolutely really cool builds. There's actually one in this list that I saw today, and I was like, man, this is so cool. And it's a shield build, and obviously I love high defense shield builds. So yeah, we're going to include them as well. Now, if you are a creator and you don't want to be in this list for any reason, just please reach out to me, and I'm happy to adjust the video post-edit. But otherwise, for anyone watching, make sure you stop by each creator's channel. Their link will be in the description to their videos. So make sure you stop by, drop them a like, drop them a sub. And also, for those of you who follow my channel, don't forget to like and sub to me. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get into the video and talk about 5 more community builds for the 0.3 and soon to be 0.3.1 Path of Exile 2 League. Okay, so the first build that we're going to feature on this list is from Zemos, and it's the 100k EHP Tankbringer Warrior. Now, what makes this build so cool, aside from the fact that it looks insane? This is one of those rule of cool builds. It looks dope. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. So the big thing here is pretty much at about 50,000 armor, you can tank mostly anything. And then once you cap your resistance or your armor applied to elemental damage over that, which usually you can get it to like 60,000 very easily just with the points on the tree and minimum gear specking, it basically allows you to do some absolutely stupid stuff, which means you can tank all the damage conceivable in the game, ridiculously so. Now, this one, funnily enough, looks like it's the start of the return of Lightning Coil, which for anyone who doesn't know was very big in Path of Exile 1. And it's looking like the elemental damage applied to armor is going to mean that we're pretty much going to be going backwards in time and playing Lightning Coil builds on absolutely everything, or Cloak of Flame, take your pick. But that being said, yeah, this build overall is just ridiculous. So basically in the guide that he's presented, he's done a pretty big like run through around absolutely everything. Now, obviously, the hammer that he's got, or the Totemic Great Club, is absolutely insane. So there's probably adjustments that you could do to make this a little bit easier for an earlier setup. I can even confirm that Defiance of Destiny, should you run that, is pretty much OP in every scenario. I actually believe it's worth the damage drop-off slightly for taking that, because it means you can go and you can actually learn how the T3 Uber fights work really well with builds like this. Apart from that, his overall guide is absolutely fantastic. Like, I'm a big stickler for warriors, and this is a really, really good guide. He runs through everything that you need to know about the skill setups, everything you need to know about the skill tree, and basically the basic gem setups. And overall, the gearing on this isn't insane. Like, it really just takes full advantage of the armor also applies to elemental damage attribute. Heaps of stacking. He does run certain nodes, such as leather-bound gauntlets, which for anyone who doesn't know, this is a really easy way to get an absolute ton of extra armor into your builds. Funnily enough, we don't have a constricted command, which I found was really interesting, and not a bad thing at all, because that's probably going to be subject to nerfing next league, though I am abusing it myself in my builds. But overall, really good build, really good guide. The POB is included in the video. I'm sure if you went on a Zemos' channel and asked him some questions about his build, he would be more than happy to answer those questions as well, because he's done a very good job on the guide. And make sure you drop by, drop him some likes and subs to his channel as well. He definitely deserves it. I can't wait to see more builds come from this creator, and I'm sure they will be absolutely mental. But anyway, this will be the first build that will feature on this list. Okay, so the next build that we've got on the list, some of these are just so creative. Like, this one is from Bax RPG, and it's the Immortal ES Recoup Ritualist. So basically, he's using the Sacrosanctum And what this basically does is damage taken is recouped as life, which is also recouped as energy shield. So if you double stack life and energy shield, you do absolutely mental levels of recoup if you stack enough of your life pool up. And that's exactly what he's done in this scenario. Now, basically, a few other things that he's got going on here. Obviously, he's got the Ritualist, so we're stacking up dots with things like Blood Boil and Corrupted Blood and things like that. On top of that, he's got Arctic Armour, which then focuses on applying cold to slow enemies down, with Ravenous Swarm as well built into this build. This build's basically just totally designed to like sit in the middle of the Simulacrum and just absolutely eat damage. And I love it for that. This is the sort of really creative stuff that all the patch for 0.3 has created. And like, this is just like one iteration of this type of build. Like, there's some insane stuff out there. Now, as an overall, he's got some really good commentary in his guide. Like, it's a very robust guide, and you really need to sit down and watch all the way through because it's very detailed and a lot of technique involved in getting this type of build to work. A few other things to note, he is also using at Series Disdain. This is going to give him extra energy shield as well as Defiance of Destiny, which is fantastic for mitigating damage. And pretty much, again, we're coming back to Defiance of Destiny as just like one of the ultimate defense items in the game. I think builds like this are far more interesting than front load damage builds, and the reason why is because it takes a lot of time to balance defenses, and it also takes a lot of time to understand how to get defensive builds to do a reasonable amount of damage. You're not necessarily going to do like one-shot style damage, but you're going to be able to like comfortably play the game. And again, comes back to like if you're a player that isn't so sweaty-handed, these sorts of builds are fantastic for you, and they're also fantastic for players that sort of don't want to die a lot and just want to like, you know, watch some Netflix on the side of playing the game. And some people may fight me over that comment, but to be honest with you, a lot of us work full-time and I love watching YouTube and playing video games at the same time. Anyway, this build is absolutely amazing. The creator's done a fantastic job. Make sure you stop by their channel and drop them a like and a sub. These are the types of builds that I love to see come out in games like Path of Exile 2. And hopefully we get to see even more when we get the Druid and the Templar and retaliation skills and on-block skills and all the rest of the cool stuff that's coming into the game. But as an overall, fantastic build done by a really good creator. And this would be build number 2 that I want to feature on this list. Okay, so for number 3, we've got a build from Zeph, and make sure you stop by his channel and check out this this video because it's actually really interesting. The tech here has some real potential. So basically, this is like one of those stop hitting yourself builds. So this is a Chronomancer, and he's using Lightning Coil to convert physical damage to lightning damage, right? But the big thing here is, or damage taken, the big thing here is the way that the skills actually set up. So basically, he's got Valako's charge, which means if you take lightning damage, you will then do a ton more damage, right? And in this case, what he's basically doing then is he's using Skuld's Bridle to be able to convert mana cost taken into physical damage taken, which is then taken as lightning damage when that converts back to the lightning coil. At least that's my understanding of the build. Basically, like every time that you cast, you're taking damage, but because it also takes advantage of a ton of recoup as well as basically using mana stacking in this circumstance, you can then charge up your skills by basically damaging yourself to do a ton of damage. That's my understanding of this build so far. There's a lot going on here. That being said, the potential for this to like do some insane stuff is there, right? This build scaled up even further, could do absolutely mental stuff. As you've seen, like it's a pretty consistent build. Like doesn't have a lot of armor, things like that, because it just fully takes advantage of mana stacking and also recoup stats and things like that, and damage conversion. As an overall, though, really, really interesting technology within a build, and I think that this could lend itself to some even crazier combinations. I'm really interested by Chronomancer builds because I sort of want to do an armor stacking Chronomancer next. I think Chronomancer could be one of like the tankiest builds in the game. In fact, like it's pretty much one of the tankiest builds in the game, to be honest with you. It's got 46% recoup as life, which is wild. You slap a Defiance of Destiny on this, for example, you do insane amounts of recovery as well, and you basically never take damage, which means maybe the old Hammer of the Gods setup from 0.1 might be viable again on this setup with some lightning conversion or something like that, or with a setup that's very similar to this. As an overall, really, really good guide. Really well put together as well, well explained as well, because this is some pretty up there tech to try and get your head around how this works. At least for me, because I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed. But anyway, overall, really good video, really good guide, worth checking out. If you want to play something interesting, this is definitely up your alley. And make sure you stop by Zeph's channel and drop him a like and a sub. Okay, so the fourth one we're going to feature here is from Squish, and this is more like a build showcase than a guide, but he's got a POB included and all the details that you need to know about it. And he's also been very active in his comments section as well and answering questions. So if this is a build that you want to try, then this might be up your alley. What you can basically see is absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage. I watched this video today. Actually, I thought it was pretty amusing when he does the gem swap, because like there's an optimization for the gem swap setup here. And overall, this is really cool. So basically, he's doing Herald of Blood. He's then doing that as a prolift setup with Poison and Plague Bearer and Poison Burst arrows to basically generate your poison stacks up. Drops the Plague Bearer and basically one hits absolutely everything. And it's disgustingly high damage, and even its map capability is really, really good. Like, it's a huge AoE. As an overall, like, this build is super interesting. And then I believe there's a switch to basically go to a dot skill being like an ED or something like that. I'm still trying to fully figure out how he's getting this to work. But as an overall, like, and sorry, Despair, he uses as well when he's taking on bosses to do even more damage. As an overall, really, really cool build. Really well done sort of build showcase too, and really, really creative. I can't speak to his guide too much because he hasn't got a full guide up, at least that I've seen. But yeah, definitely worth checking out and having a look to see what he actually threads together. And Squish, if you watch this video, do a build guide on this one. This is actually a really, really cool build, and I'm sure plenty of people would love to see a full breakdown of how this setup works. But anyway, make sure you stop by his channel, drop him a like and a sub, and yeah, the POBs in the video and everything that you need to know, you should be able to figure out from there. But otherwise, post up in his comment section and get him to answer your questions. And this would be build number 4 that'll feature on this list. Okay, so the last build is actually from me, and this is my armor stacking Earthshatter Titan. So we use a couple of setups here. We do use Forge Hammer to do even more damage. We do basically armor stack, so that's how I learned so much about armor, and I'm actually applying that tech to Witch Hunter at the moment to do something really cool that we're doing on stream. So if you want to check that out, you can drop by stream. I stream on both YouTube and Twitch, and the links will all be below. But yeah, as an overall, I tanked tier 3 Zesh, tier 3 everything. The only thing that I didn't do was Arbiter of Ash because it's really, really expensive. But mapping, Breeze, you just don't die with this build, or you die very, very little with this build, which is fantastic. As an overall, like, you know, I farmed pretty much tons of divines with this in the end game. It's just like super consistent. If you played it on League Start, you'd have absolutely no problems. It does use constricted command, and I am very well aware that's probably going to get nerfed down the track, but you could very easily get this working without constricted command and just reallocate those points around other areas of the tree, and you're going to have no real problems at all. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got with this build. Like, this just did big damage. And then obviously map clear, we use like Asunder with one of the new Chaos gems, support gems. And we just do like full screen clear, blow everything up, move on to the next area. The hardest thing to get on this build was actually the Warhammer, which I had to craft myself. And the tip is, one div gets you a pretty high DPS weapon. So you just need one that isn't corrupted with at least like 20% attack speed on it. If you have to pay 2 div, even better, that's fine. And then the suffix roll that you need is for attack. For the plus 4 to 6 level of skill gems, right? Melee skill gems. So basically you just use the perfect battle essence, which is a suffix roll. Hope to God that you don't roll your attack speed off the hammer, and basically that's how you get a perfect hammer or an almost perfect hammer. And that's the secret. Anyway, yeah, I'll put a link in the description below with the video if you want to check the guide out. I've changed the mobalytics up. I've just got to finish the write-up, and yeah, the full POB and everything you need to know is in the guide. So if you want to replicate this build and be an absolute immortal god, then this build will do it for you. And this is the last build that I'm going to feature on this list. Okay, so I hope these builds give you yet more ideas of things that you could play in the point 3 league. Obviously, we've got a huge patch with point 3, point 1. I'm actually taking next week off, so I'm going to be on stream pretty much every day until Battlefield 6 comes out, playing the hell out of that. I'm super excited. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, if you want to be featured in this list, if you're a creator with a build guide or something that you've put up and you want to really spread that around and show your build, make sure you reach out to me on Discord or in the comments section of this video or any other means that you can find me. Yeah, drop me a link to your video and whatnot. If you want me to say some words on it, then feel free to let me know what you want me to cover about the build that makes it unique. And yeah, I would love to feature more creators in these videos. There's some absolutely fantastic builds that are coming out, and the more exposure we get everybody that's involved in making these awesome builds, the better, and get even more ideas to make more crazy stuff as the game develops over time. But also, if you're a creator that I've featured on here and you don't want to be on here for any reason that might be, just feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to post edit and adjust things and things like that if need be for any particular reason. But otherwise, make sure you stop by all the creators. All their links to their videos will be in the description below. And drop them a like and a sub. And until next time, don't forget to drop a like and a sub to this channel. If you want to support it further, feel free to be a member. Up to you. I'll leave it to you guys to figure that one out. But until next time, I'll see you guys later on and have a good one.